All right, today we're going to talk about something that's a kind of a personal issue. We're going to get personal today. Hey everybody, I'm Larry.
And I'm Sansi.
And this is our dog Bella. You'll see her in a lot of our videos, normally catching the ball behind us when we throw it. We got a trailer in the way today.
As she goes around it.
Our channel is ForeverHuff'sLiving. It's basically a vlog about our retirement life, really. We try to travel a lot. Sometimes we'll hop a plane.
Maybe take a cruise.
We like to cruise. We got a fifth wheel.
Yeah.
We use our fifth wheel every now and then. And sometimes we just vlog about what we're doing around the house here, what project we have going on. And normally there's a project. So look, we're glad you stopped by our channel. We hope you will subscribe. We're glad you stopped by our channel. We hope you'll subscribe and become one of our loyal followers. Yeah,
And now, back to the video.
Today we want to talk about our weight. My weight anyway. We're not going to talk about her weight. Her weight's fine. But
No, it's not.
I know how ladies are about their weight.
Well, I won't tell my weight.
Well, really, I guess I want to say this. 40 plus years ago when we got married, I weighed 128 pounds. I was a skinny little handsome dude. No, I was a skinny little runt. And at that time, I thought, like most of us do when we're young, that I'd never have a problem with weight. So that's the first point I want to come out with.
Go ahead and say it, and then I started cooking a lot.
Now, I married a good cook. And, well, that's another point. You cook the way your mother cooked.
Right.
And it's delicious. I won't say it's not. It is. She's real good at it. But, you know, that is a point we probably need to talk about on this episode. So that's the first thing. Is one, I never thought I'd have a problem with weight. You know, we got married when we were 20, so, you know.
Long time ago.
I know. We're 61 now, so I'm 61. I'm not going to tell her age. But we did get married when we were 20.
Social Security.
And we were both tiny. We were little people, and we didn't think we would ever have a problem with weight. And then when we were younger, I would see people that were overweight and health issues, and I would normally, because of the teaching from school or health classes or what, you know, I would associate their health problems with their obesity or overweight. And I don't know, what does obese mean? Just slightly overweight would be considered obese? Or when I think obese, I think way heavy overweight. Either way.
That's why I think obese.
Yeah, either way, I believe, and I'm basing on what I was taught throughout the years, that, you know, a lot of health issues can be directly related to your weight. If you're overweight, there's some health issues that come with that. Then there again, at that time, I didn't think I would ever be that person.
But then there are health issues that don't have anything to do with your weight.
True.
But if you are overweight,
You're more
seem
likely
to have more health issues that can be controlled by the weight.
And then I would see people that were really, really, you know, like really overweight and had serious health issues. And I would think to myself, why don't they do something about it? You know, because that was easy to say because I wasn't overweight, you know.
Right.
But over time, over the last 40 years, eating your mama's good cooking. Yeah, I say it's her mother's because that's who she learned from. And look, we're in the South, and a lot of these country folks like we are, you know, the daughters learn from the mothers how to cook and how to cook these good Southern meals. And look, it's some of the best you'll ever eat. I'm not going to lie about that, and I have been getting better and better at eating it. And I was also getting more and more and more overweight. and it kind of creeps up on you. And when you start getting a little overweight, you think, well, it'll go away because I've been skinny all my life. Well,
But I think the weight started creeping up the older you get. The older you get, the weight comes on easier.
well, your metabolism slows
Right.
down as you get older. That, and I think you get less active. And I'm not gonna deny that a lot of our weight problems, and I say I mean in the United States, is what we eat. The foods that we buy and how they're processed and chemically treated, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
And another thing that has a lot to do with it, go to a restaurant and order one little meal, and it's enough food to feed 3 people, and if you purchase it, you feel like you need to eat it.
Yeah.
Go to a buffet, you feel like, oh, I got to get my money's worth.
That's another thing we've done now that we've gotten older is, I used to think older people would buy one plate and share it because they were cheap. But now we're starting to we've been kind of trying to do something about our weight for a while. And that's one of the things we went to is we just order one meal at a restaurant and split it because there's
Still
there's
sometimes
plenty.
have leftovers.
And yeah, it still sometimes bring some home.
Because the portions are so big. I mean, some places they're huge.
Yeah,
And like, they set it down in front of you and it's like, how am I going to eat all that?
yeah. Another thing that was an eye opener for me. Well, let me I had kind of bought into the hereditary thing because my father was overweight, not huge, greatly obese, but he was overweight. I guess as long as I could remember, he was always.
He's just a big man.
He was a big man, but he was overweight. I don't know that he did have health issues later, and well, about where I'm at. I'm at 61, soon to be 62. That's about the time he started having some diabetes issues.
But
and then they got.
He decided he was going to control it, which he did for a while.
He did for a while.
He did.
But as
By
he got
his
at
food.
a certain point, he just couldn't control it by himself. He was just getting to that age. His body was giving up on it. But anyway, him being overweight and now me getting overweight, I bought into the hereditary thing. Well, you're like your dad was, and when you see kids that are overweight and you look at their parents and the parents are way overweight, I started buying into this hereditary thing. I thought, well, okay, it's got to be some truth to it because I see it when I look around. But then we took a trip. We went to Italy. And when I stepped off the plane, it was obvious to me that I was the fat guy. The fat guy. I was in this busy airport. I was the only person there that was overweight. And I'm not greatly obese. I'm 20, 30 pounds over. I'm not one of those people that's 100, 200 pounds overweight. I'm 30, 40 pounds overweight. So I'm not hugely round and riding in a scooter. But I am overweight. But it was obvious to me. And then we spent a couple of weeks in Italy. Now, we didn't go to the big touristy towns. We didn't do that.
We were up into the real Italy.
Portonego is where we were at.
Aviano,
Aviano, air base is there. One of our sons was stationed there.
Sicily, or is that how you say it?
And we went and we stayed with them, and we spent time in
we went to those little towns.
those small towns.
Not tourist towns.
Yeah. And I will say, the whole time we were there, I realized there were no fat people. I mean,
Right.
None where we were at. If you saw one that was obese, they normally had a camera around their neck. So it was obvious they were a tourist. So that got me to rethinking, And really just that. Go ahead. You got something?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. What?
So when we were there and we would go out to eat, the portions were just a normal portion. Even I still couldn't eat all of it, but it was still a normal portion. And it was all fresh food. It was fresh.
Yeah.
So there was no buffets there. I don't think
I don't remember seeing a buffet.
any buffets.
But while we were there, it really got me to second guessing this hereditary thing and all this that I had convinced myself of the reasons why I was overweight. I really started second guessing that. And look, let me tell you, these people in Italy, they eat foods that we think are bad for you. We've been taught are bad for you. You know, pastas and pizzas and all the dough and they drink wine
and
with
cheese
with just about every meal. They eat
and
a
breads.
lot of cheese and they eat a
Some
lot
kind
of
homemade
breads.
bread. It was really good.
A lot of the things that we've been told is not good for. I can't get my hair just right. Anyway.
And they walked everywhere.
Yeah.
They did a lot of walking.
Yeah, they do much more walking than we do. But I don't know that that's I think it's more the food and the portion sizes, the smaller portions. And even though they're eating things that we, doctors and stuff over here have kind of convinced us is not good for you, the difference is everything they do is fresh.
Yeah, they go to the market.
Yeah, right. They go to the market like once a week and they buy their ingredients and stuff for that week. And they cook with fresh. If you have a pizza, that dough was made fresh that morning or that day with fresh ingredients. If you have pasta, it's homemade pasta that was made fresh with good fresh ingredients. It's not some processed something that came from a factory. There's no telling what's in it, so it'll have a shelf life. That was picked up at Walmart or whatever. If you have meat, you get it at the market. Now you have to picture this. They're small towns, and each town has a town square, and they'll have market in that square once a week, and that they'll all go, get their stuff for the week. So if you have meat, you probably got it at the market, which the butcher had it from a farmer right down the road. You know what I mean? It wasn't, processed at some plant in Oklahoma and been shipped by truck or rail or whatever all over the country to these Walmarts or wherever it's saying, wherever you get your meat. And we don't have any idea what was put in it and preservatives. And, it's just
Steroids.
Yeah, so it really got me that trip. And a side note to that trip, we were there for like 2 weeks and I lost about 15 pounds. I didn't feel like I dieted. We went out to eat every day.
Seemed like it.
Yeah.
Eating cheese and
cheese
the bread,
and wine and breads and all that stuff. And, I didn't go hungry. But when I got home and, I stepped on the scales, I realized I had lost a considerable amount of weight in a short period of time. And the only thing I can attribute it to is the food we ate. I mean, we did walk some and we went and saw some castles and we did, but we didn't go out and walk all day every day.
No.
So I was leaning more towards the food we ate.
And the portion size.
Mm-hmm. So now that kind of brings us to where we are today and kind of the purpose of this video. So I got on the scales about 12 days ago and I weighed 243 pounds. I'm 5'10", so that's way too much. And I've been at that weight for a while now. But I don't know what it was about 2 weeks ago when I did that. It hit me, it clicked,
Well, I can tell you,
I got mad about it, I guess.
we had some friends tell us about something,
Yeah.
and then you got on the scales and you said, "Okay, I'm going to do it."
Well, something you're talking about is the carnivore diet. I'd heard about it before, and I had sort of looked into it. But we did. We had some friends that were on the carnivore. Actually, it was, I think, two different sets of people. And both of them had lost a considerable amount of weight. And they were just convinced that this was the way to go. So I had already kind of been looking at this carnivore diet. And really, my first thought was that ought to be easy because I like meat.
I can eat meat a whole lot quicker than I can eat some of that strange stuff on these other diets.
Yeah.
There's some strange stuff out there they want you to eat.
Yeah.
Ain't happening.
So we want to talk a little bit about the carnivore diet today. Now I'm going to start out by saying we just got on it. We've done a little bit of research, but we are not experts by any means. We don't intend to get on here and act like we're not. We just started it, but we want to share with you kind of what it is and what our experience has been over the past. Has it been 12 days now?
Something like that. I don't remember exactly what date.
Yeah, I want to say we started it on Sunday. Today is Wednesday of the following week, so 10 days, 11 days, 10 or 11 days we've been on. Well, to kind of go back to everything we've talked about up until this point, when I got on that scale that day, all of that just kind of slapped me in the face. You know, me when I was younger thinking about people that's overweight and having health issues, why don't they do something about it? You know, and then debunking the hereditary thing by going to Italy, man, just all of that just kind of hit me in the face because here I am, I'm on blood pressure medication. Clock going off. We like our grandfather clock. So I'm on blood pressure medication. I've been on it about 14 years now. And my blood pressure's been steady going up. So my dosage...
Along with the weight.
Along with the weight. So my dosage has been going up. So now I take a pretty heavy dose morning and evening just to keep my blood pressure in check.
And they still don't keep it in check sometimes.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, just like my father, right now I'm borderline diabetic. I mean, I'm just below the threshold of being diabetic. There again, it hit me. It's my weight. I mean, I knew when I was younger, when I saw older people that had health issues, it's the weight. So as I'm standing there looking at that 243 on that scale, all of that's just kind of slapping me in the face. And I'm one of those people, I'm not going to do anything about it until I make my mind up. I'm going to do something about it. Well, I made my mind up in that instant.
Yes. Because I tried to get you just to cut the portion size down at home. Mm-hmm. You know, just let's cut back on. You said that's not enough. That's not enough food.
It wasn't.
It was enough.
No, to me and my body, it was not enough. When I eat that, I was still hungry. And a little while later, I would get more of something or have a sandwich or something, because my body was asking for more. Now, on the carnivore, I have not found that. I eat my...
It's because you've made your mind up.
No.
It's in your mind.
No. It's in my stomach. When
It's
my
in your
stomach
mind.
says I'm still hungry. But with the carnivore, I have not found that. So we get on the carnivore diet, and I'm not going to go into heavy detail about what the carnivore diet is because I'm not an expert yet. But basically, meat, eggs, cheese is about it, really. You know, any kind of meat. It can be chicken. It can be like pork chops, or it can be beef or hamburger, fish.
Well, let's say beef, pork, seafood, and that's it.
Chicken, poultry.
Chicken, yeah.
Yeah. So any kind of meat. Now it's most people that get
Not
on
processed meat.
yeah, most people that get on it lean heavy towards steaks and hamburger. We've done some steaks, we've done some hamburger, we've done some chicken. We're not big fish eaters. We have thrown a little bit of shrimp in there. Anyway, you get the gist of it. If you want to learn more about it, go watch some video. There's good videos out there. There's people out there that are really experts about what the carnivore diet is, and that's not us. We're just now doing it. So we're into it, 11, 12 days, almost 2 weeks, and we want to discuss what the first basically 2 weeks have been like. I will say this, in these 10 or 11 days, I have lost 11 pounds.
And I've lost 5. Almost
a pound a day for me. Now, you say, well, why did I lose so much and she didn't? Let me tell you something. I was eating every day, all day, grazing. I would eat breakfast, and then a little while later, I'd go in there and find some chips, and a little while after that, I might go make me a sandwich, and then she'd cook lunch, and we'd eat a big lunch. Which
then you'd have toast with mayhaw jelly.
Then I'd make me some toast, and we got some homemade mayhaw jelly. I'd put that, so I was eating all day. I was grazing on stuff. Well, she never did that. So,
but right now, I'm still drinking my coffee with my creamer.
And I have. Look, when I say I went on this diet, I went on this diet. Boom, just. Like
I could cut out I couldn't drink coffee black, so it's either no coffee or coffee with creamer.
So it's been a bigger adjustment for my body to go to this than hers, and I think that's the reason I've lost a little. Well, one, she don't have as much weight to lose as I do, but number two, it was a bigger shock to my system because I was doing that, and you didn't do that. You pretty well ate the meals that we had, usually 2 meals a day. Well, I would eat 3. Because you don't
and
eat.
Sometimes I would only eat the one.
Yeah, you don't eat breakfast. So I would have breakfast, and then snacks, and then lunch, and then snacks, and then dinner.
Snacks.
And then snacks after dinner right before we go to bed. And I've done that for years. So to go from that to just boom, instantly
a piece of meat.
Switch over to a piece of meat 3 times a day.
Well, in the mornings it's meat and eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I cook lunch, meat.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have 1 piece of meat, and then you'll go for the second piece of meat later.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
usually at lunch, she cooks 2 pieces of meat for me, and I'll eat 1. And then there have been some evenings that I skip that 3rd meal, but most evenings, somewhere in the evening, I'll go get that other piece of meat and have that for dinner. I will say this, overall, I feel better. Just losing,
I do too.
Just losing 11 pounds, and that shocked me to lose 11 pounds that quick. That's been a
Now we're fixing to go on a trip.
shock. Yeah, we're about to go on a trip, so it's going to test our resolve. Well, I think I'll be all right. We're going to kind of be on vacation. We might have 1 or 2 cheat meals while we're out, but I'll be somewhat selective about what that meal is going to be.
But that one meal is going to be it. That's all
Yeah.
I'll eat. Just the one.
Yeah. So we're gonna be.
We're not going for hamburgers every day.
No. So I've decided now that we've been on this diet and we've lost weight like we have and we feel like we do, then it goes back to the realization I got while we in Italy. It's what we're eating. It's without a doubt. We as Americans.
And
it's
the
what we're
amount.
And you can throw that in there too.
Because the amount.
The amount.
Not just us. Us as Americans feel like we have to eat. When you go out, you feel like you need to eat that whole plate full of whatever.
Another thing that convinced me to do this Well, several videos I watched about people that have done this carnivore, they got off of blood pressure medication. It really affected their blood pressure in a positive way. And that's my main issue right now.
Mine's
So-
cholesterol, so.
I don't know yet. I'm still on the medication. I am monitoring my blood pressure pretty close. It seems to, on average, has come down a little bit, but not enough to get off medication. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, you know, in 2 weeks I was off it. I'm not. I'm still on it. I'll say this. I've got an appointment next month, about a month from now. I think it's around the middle of the month.
17th.
Yeah. So about a month from now, I have my regular physical, and they do a complete blood work. So I'm going to stay on this at least until then, and I'm going to see what that blood work looks like, and I will come back and report that.
And then after that, we have a cruise.
So as of right now, I'm on blood pressure medication twice a day, 50 milligrams in the morning, 50 in the afternoon. So that's a lot to take. So my blood pressure is a real issue, and I am borderline diabetic. And I throw that out there for reference. So a month from now, when I do a follow-up, I want to be able to give you some good news, hopefully on both of those. Where was I going? Okay, let's talk about some effects
Go ahead.
that this diet has had. If you watch videos, it will talk about several things, and I have had most of them. And I think I've had most of them because it was such a drastic change for me to go from the way I was to what I'm doing now. And I basically did it in an instant. I made my mind up, and that's what I've done. I had a headache for a few days, just in the back of my head, you know, the base of my head, top of my neck, and the back. I had a headache for several days. I actually ran a low-grade fever for several days. Not the first couple of days, but about 3 or 4 days into it. And then I ran that fever for 3 or 4 days. I mean, I don't think I had it yesterday, and I haven't felt it today. So that's a couple of things that could, and you know, and I watched videos, and I've seen the experts talk about this, and they explain why this happens. And basically, it's just your body detoxing, I guess. Is that the best way to put it?
I think so.
Or I put it like somebody that gets off of drugs. You know, you got to go through that.
You went from eating a lot to.
Taking in a lot of sugar. When I look at how much sugar I was, just sugar.
He
that
would
I
eat
was
just
taking
about
in.
a bag full of Bucky nuggets.
You almost called it the other thing.
I did.
What do they call them? What's the real name?
Bucky nuggets?
Is that what they call them?
I
Bucky
think so.
nuggets? No, it's something else, isn't it?
Well, whatever.
Anyhow.
Beaver nuggets.
Beaver nuggets. I call them
A
Bucky
whole
nuts.
bag. That's a lot.
I would, you know, we'd get some.
That's a whole bag of sugar. That's
Yeah.
nothing but sugar in that.
Yeah, but I would put, in the mornings, I'd put a little sugar in my coffee. And then we might have some breakfast that I would put syrup on. Or syrup, depending on where you're from. Syrup. And then I would have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you know, and that jelly is just loaded with sugar. And then if I did toast and put our Mayhaw jelly on it, I know it's loaded with. So I was having sugar all day.
And there's a bag of cereal that he eats. That's nothing but sugar.
Yeah, you know, we get some
Right.
cereal, and I would.
Sometimes two bowls a day.
Yeah, but I've been doing that for
Long time.
30, 40 years. You know, just like most of you have probably had your, whatever your diet is for years and years and years, and to go from that and just
A piece of meat.
in an instant change over to I'm just eating meat. My body really, it shocked it. And we're not going to necessarily go into our restroom trips. I'll just put it that way. It could go either way.
Well, you just went into it.
Well, I didn't get explicit about it. It could go either way, and we experienced a little of that. But and from what I understand, all the videos we've watched, that's kind of in the first 2 weeks. That's your body adjusting over to. It's like your body has adapted over 40 years to attack a certain way to the foods ate, and it's, that's what it's adjusted to. And then all of a sudden, I just switched, and it wasn't ready for it, so it's adjusted. So that's where we are. We're 10 or 12 days into this diet. I've lost 11. You've lost 4 or 5. I feel better. I don't feel bloated like I used to, and I can tell a definite difference.
Puffed sounds better than bloated.
Yeah, puffed. And so how my clothes fit. My clothes are fitting much better. And that's just in 2 weeks. So I'm convinced we are on the right track. And I'm convinced that this works. We've basically cleaned our diet up and got all the bad stuff out. I think we're on the right track, but I have made my mind up. I'm done with being overweight. I'm done with high blood pressure. I'm done with feeling terrible. And this was my aha moment. I got to do this. So we're not promoting the carnivore diet. We're not knocking the carnivore diet. We're just saying this is what we're doing, and this is where we're at 12 days in. And we think we're on the right track. And we're going to stick with it. And thank goodness I've got a spouse that supports what I'm doing. I mean, I'd hate to think I'm sitting here trying to eat a piece of meat, and she's going and getting Taco Bell and sitting over eating Taco Bell. You know what I mean?
I know, because
we're doing it together, so that helps.
But I still have to cook for our son.
Our son's here, and he don't need to lose any weight.
So I cook for
so
him.
she still cooks for him, and we let him have that stuff, but we're sticking to what we're doing. So that's our personal little story today that we wanted to share with everybody. Maybe some of you have been thinking about something like it. Maybe some of you have some of the same issues. I know if you're our age or older, you almost have to have. But of all of the experiences we've had, I've convinced myself that it's not hereditary. It's how we eat. It's the foods we eat. So we're trying to make a change. We'll report back later on how things go. Let's say a month from now we'll give another report. And we hope y'all will join in and watch that video. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we'd appreciate it if you do so now. Give us a thumbs up. Help us with that algorithm. And I'll throw in that we have a channel, Forever Huff's Living, over on Rumble, that we do more live stuff over there. YouTube, we just post videos, but on Rumble, we do lives, and we call that Coffee with the Huffs. So if you don't have Rumble, we encourage you to get it. It's just another platform similar to YouTube. And if you do, we'd appreciate it if you'd follow us over there on Rumble. So till next time, this is Larry and Sansi with Forever Huff's Living. We'll see you down the road.